Hello.
Hello.
How are you doing, Liz?
Pretty good. How are you?
Okay. No, you're not that loud today.
Do it.
Or maybe it's my volume. It's my
Oh.
volume. Cool. That's great. Lots of things happening. Just been deploying something that everybody's been working on for a while. Have you noticed the changes?
Not yet.
Not yet.
I'm assuming they're in the nav panel and I just haven't seen them because it's collapsed. Maybe? What have I not seen?
Oh, maybe you have to refresh. If you haven't refreshed your browser.
I have not yet. Okay. Maybe. There they are. Yep, that was it. I just had it refreshed. I also had it closed. Fancy.
Cool.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
Seems like a little change, but it's so much cleaner
Yeah.
now.
Well, even like hovering over the like the articles and stuff to have that pop up and be like, oh, that's the description, so I know what I'm clicking into. That's great.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you put the thumbnail in, that's all there. Yeah, so
Yeah.
now we exactly, especially if you've got long titles, you can get the full context.
Yeah, no, that's great.
And then we've got this lovely little bar going on down the bottom. So the whole unlisted thing's gone. So it's just in there or it isn't, which is good. There's no separating unlisted. But you can use your project sort of privacy settings for that. And then down here in this corner, look at that. You've got create new article even with a little plus. That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Upload, project settings, which also reflects the status. So that's gone from being sort of half hidden up there and the settings.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah, collaborators isn't explicitly got an icon down here.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we need one. Maybe we don't.
It's not a bad idea if there's space.
Yeah. Cool. And look at this.
Yeah, that's what I was like, oh man, so stressed. What's actually published? Never mind. It tells me.
Yeah, that little thing there.
Yeah.
Is telling you.
Yeah. So it's like obviously scrolling through getting started where there's tons of articles all over the place. This is great.
Yeah. But it goes in the new nav.
Yeah, no good
Going.
stuff.
Do you like it, Liz?
Yeah, no, it's great. I was just Steve's like, yeah, did you see the stuff? And I'm like, no. So one time I'm actually like, I hadn't refreshed quite yet, and I had the nav panel closed because I was just working full screen. So
yeah,
no, it's awesome. Especially, yeah, I was saying like the hover over and stuff to be able to see everything, the description. I think more people use that now. Like, oh, if I hover over this, I should really add a description that would help people. So.
Yeah, and now if you add a description, you can get to that right here.
Oh, perfect.
Always. Yeah.
Without having to go into the save, edit, save loop, as it were. So a remix. 14.
Remix.
What are the little icons that are next to the block URL and title?
That is Steve's machine. That is not.
Where's that?
I don't know what that is. That's Grammarly or something? In the block.
Ah, yeah. Yeah, it'll be Grammarly.
Oh, okay. I was like, I don't understand what that is. Is that a new feature? Is something not match?
Where? Yeah, no, that is a LastPass.
A LastPass. Oh, interesting.
Password manager seems to be interested in filling the form in.
Oh, okay.
Not sure why that would be the case.
Oh, this it's popped up in the other one now.
So strange.
Maybe it thinks it's like a name or something, like your username. I don't know. I don't know how these things work.
I've been going through your the GeoSci inversion module a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's looking so good.
It's definitely. Yeah, there's a few little things obviously yet to come, which I think I had mentioned, and then I think Lindsay and Doug both were like, we don't like these things. I'm like, it's coming, it's coming.
Wait, yeah, which things? The
like the really big images when they're on their own. Because there's some, I just was like, no, we're gonna have standard formatting here, guys.
Yeah.
This one's not too bad because it's a big image as it is, but there are some that are rather small or skinny, and they're just like,
yeah.
But I think it looks good. I think it's nicer this way. I think they'll go through and probably add in some more transitions to make it more of like a textbook, but it's not as overwhelming as it once was.
Oh.
Like, yeah, no, I mean, there was just like way too much information.
Like, I forgot how big they were when I was like, oh my God, there's so many blocks. I'm like, God, that's still just one page worth, and there's like 7 of them. Oh, guys, so much. So.
Yeah. What are these? These are links that have been added as headings as well.
Yep.
They're section references, but they've also been added. Yeah. Great.
Wait, you hadn't found that yet? Those made me really happy. Like last week when you put them in together, yeah, they turn out like this. It's really great.
Do they? Okay.
And I love the hover. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's something that I'm also just excited about.
Yeah, it puts a little bit of description in them now. That's it. If there's a reason why you want to put description, because you can see where it comes up.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, and then I think we need to do a better job of pulling thumbnails correctly so that you don't have to, basically.
So 3, 4, and 5 are still like in the works. 1 and 2 are worth looking at the moment.
Awesome.
I was like, as you're clicking through there, Steve. I was like, 3 is not great. So this is just gonna, because they wanted them separate. I have a feeling this might just be a heading, or it can stay an article like this. I don't know.
It should be a talk block or some type of container.
Maybe. Yeah, well, I think it's just in the table of in the navigation, it just is a section header, not actually a block.
Yeah. So if you wanted to render anything there, then the table of contents would be the thing, no? Maybe. No.
Oh, yeah, totally.
This is talking about it at some point, just like how they've organized it, that some articles are like they're part of the sections. So like having everything numbered together, choosing your numbers for your sections would be awesome.
Choosing.
So what they've done is so the first article here is inverse theory overview, and that's 1.
Mm-hmm.
So then any other article that's nested under that is 1.123. Well, it used to be 1.123. I don't know where 1.1 went. I don't want to know. Where did it go? I don't know. I just work here. Anyway. Anyway, it was there yesterday when I looked at this.
Is that? Oh, here. I'll put it back in my.
Oh yeah, it's dropped out down here.
Yeah.
And I guess this one too.
Or no, because that's 2.1 and then
1.1.
Oh, okay. Anyway, so then if you look into like 1.2, there should be other headings in here that are then 1.2.1. So it was like I had to put those in manually, but being able to like choose that would be awesome. Because otherwise, if you put them in, they're like 0.0.1.
Yeah, you put like a base chapter number here that you want to start from.
Yeah, yeah. So just having some options there, I could just see people, yeah, more like textbook stuff.
Yeah.
Just collections of information.
Oh, it looks amazing.
Yeah, suddenly
Cool.
you can actually see that there's a lot of information rather than just landing on one page and bouncing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And waiting about 10 minutes for, I'm sure, to load. I don't know. I don't remember, but in the olden days.
So I feel like we fixed a lot since then.
Cool. Yeah, we're just saying, we're just going through all the options we've got down here. I was missing a collaborators, maybe button. It's available under settings, of course. But I was looking for the people icon.
Interesting.
Not sure. The settings is maybe enough. Cool. That's great. And the text is bigger and there's a bit more space and it just feels nicer.
That's just fantastic.
Hmm?
I've been playing with both for a while and it's just so much more wonderful, I think.
Cool.
Anything else on your mind, Liz, of things that are coming up recently?
I played more with citations again, so adding something through like BibTech is great because I can add in books and stuff now. I definitely would love to still be able to like delete citations because there's a few in there from like some previous issues that were like blank that would just be good to get rid of. Or there was one that I pulled in from BibTech and like what I had gotten through Zotero wasn't accurate and I didn't realize that at first. So just being able to delete some of those would be good.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
I did help someone fix one up the other day. I think it was Brian in the Swan group. He pulled in the reference and the year was wrong. And then we just did the whole, we just edited the BibTeX, put it back in a bib file, uploaded, and because the slug at the start remained exactly the same, it just updates the reference. So we're able to fix a year problem, and I guess you could fix any problem like that. So rather than deleting the references, you can. There is a way to update.
Yeah, I think if it's like if it's a duplicate or something else, then it would be nice to get rid of those blocks. Anything else on your mind, Liz?
oh, what else have I complained about these days? I think you guys kind of saw some of the stuff about like the hover over features, how sometimes I feel like there's some issues with where your cursor is sometimes. In that if you leave it hovering over something, it doesn't necessarily go away unless you truly like click on something else. I think I posted a few of those.
Yeah, I think I'll play around with that a little bit more this week because I think there's an interaction between I had hovered on something and then kept on typing and brought the other menu up, and those sorts of things need to close the close the hover thing completely.
Is it hover or the click over? The click pop over for citations and stuff?
It's the interaction between both of them.
Right. So it's not the hover ones like on external, like on project links where it's just hovering as soon as you put the mouse
Yeah,
over.
it
Or those
is.
two.
It's yeah, it is.
Okay. Somewhere with this citations. Yeah.
And it's a lot more in the edit mode.
Okay.
Than it is in this example.
I'm not going to edit this. It's lovely though. It'd be great to have them on all of the links.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It requires us to have an API on the internet. Just,
An API over it. Yeah.
Over it. Yeah.
It
Cool.
was like, now that I've been reminded of how you can move citations around, I think I put it up there too, that I was like, I want to be able to move like other references around, so you could like combine figures or equations, like equations 1 through 7 or 1 and 6, without having to write equation 6, equation 7.
Yeah.
Mm.
That was on there. It was like just lots of like little things that come with, I guess, that kind of tend to happen when you're just putting stuff into like LaTeX, that you're like, oh yeah, I wish I had that here.
Do those correspond to ref Ps then? A bit like site Ps?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
In native style. And in our side of things, we have a concept of a site group, and that is basically removing, or like when you have multiple of those citations, then we do it better. We should do a more condensed view on equations 1 to 5 and figure 3. Sort of just clean up the text inside. I don't know what would happen when you hover over that. I guess it shows all of them.
Yeah. Or all of them in a condensed form, maybe. Depends how big they start getting.
Yeah.
Mm.
Tabs or something.
Cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay. So all these are public and they're getting started. Or where the some.
Can you refresh? No, none of those are public.
I was like, I don't think you've refreshed, because mine have little, there they go.
Oh, there we go.
I was
I
like,
didn't
mine
refresh.
all have the locks. That's why I was like, okay, I feel safe.
Yeah, yeah, cool.
And can just be removed. But I'm not a fancy admin, so if you ever feel like deleting something that just makes you feel better about life when you just throw something away.
Cool.
Can
Great.
you file then, like, I guess you could. Like, I could create an article that would just say, these are trash, and put everything under it, and then just collapse it, and I would never have to look at them again. They would be all collapsed. That would be good. Right. Any thoughts?
Yeah, do that.
Cool.
So there's a trash can.
They don't. So our the way that it currently works, at least, is it's not based on the folders permission structure. It's based on the block. So you can still have a public article inside that then eventually shows up in the nav, if it's public. If that makes sense. So if you had like an unlisted section with one public article in there, what other people would see would be the one public article.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Because I could definitely see people like just like grades or something, or teaching stuff, that you have everything up there, but then or you want like your notes or the answers to a homework assignment in homework 1 without having to show that to everybody, obviously. So no, this is really cool. I think it'll work really well. There's nobody else here to see it all. I don't understand.
I'll watch it on YouTube later.
Yeah, there'll be,
Our
the
YouTube following.
Yeah.
I feel like that's maybe a little optimistic, but that's fine.
In 2023, when there's watching catch up.
Yeah.
Cool. But we were going to have a look at some more of the public content, weren't we? That are sitting out there.
Yeah.
On Curvenote. Where do you want to start?
Because I thought it was actually pretty interesting how various different people are using it. Because I think that it would also be good to be able to sort of start to reinforce some of these pieces. If that makes sense.
Hmm.
Oof, that's big.
Cool. So these are all notebooks.
Yeah, these are people who are sharing notebooks, I've found, and then there's some who are sharing, and these are basically fully fully static, but like things like tables are included, and a lot of people are using pandas tables, which is maybe not surprising. And in talking to some of these people, they're like, I wanted to quickly share something that I was working on with somebody else, and like it didn't warrant like making a repository and doing those sorts of things. Yeah,
Cool.
and they're looking for some of the collaboration aspects around it. Some of the feedback that I got from Joe was, and maybe this is in the public channel, is that having just easier ways to quickly share some of these notebooks where you don't really care about what project they live in. There's just like, give me a way to share it very easily.
Yeah.
And then on these ones, these were finding some interactive content. I've seen some better ones than this, but Wesley's been doing some work on creating interactive figures. Things like maps are in there as well. And then a lot of the bouquet set of things that I think, Steve, you had some projects that were in there that just had the sliders and the scripts and that sort of thing.
Yeah, take a look at those in a minute. So in the interactive one, this one's loading a whole bunch of different map data.
Yeah.
Some of Dita's as well was also using bouquet. I think up here I've got Dita's profile linked.
Yeah, but like,
oh, there it is. Yeah, so these interactive plots and sliders just for executing a particular function.
yeah, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen working with some other people privately is they're putting in a lot more work to their internal dashboards, but not sharing them publicly.
Yeah.
Just cool. I feel like we'll have to make some key examples there of what you can do with bouquet and start to link to that from some of the getting started docs as well.
Yeah.
As we go. And then some of the other, oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say some of the other repos is like tutorials, like the DeVito.
Yeah.
Which is actually sort of like a richer version of the DeVito docs that otherwise sit in a GitHub repo.
Yeah.
Sometimes with the outputs not rendered, but the notebooks are there. Yeah, I saw, J-Cut, I saw he's got some sort of a how-to on a Kubernetes setup.
Yep.
Interesting. And the Altair one, again, that's taking stuff off GitHub.
Yeah.
And putting it into the notebooks alive here.
Yeah, the Altair stuff is super beautiful.
Yeah. There are more tutorials, definitely over on the Swan.
Yeah, no, I just took a smattering.
Yeah. And a good one is here, Dieter and Lindsay were working on this one. Is that the one you already have, Towards an Open Source Landscape, the 3D?
Yeah. I was pulling in some of that.
Yeah.
Because this is more like people are like, where do they publish their other stuff that is associated with a paper or but isn't ever published, or they're putting it in GitHub but not creating like a website around it or something.
Yeah.
I don't know what to call that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is a lovely project.
And maybe that's under like the reproducible research sort of banner.
Yeah. And then you can even bring a sort of preprint of the article in, or you can bring your original manuscript in.
Yeah.
Put that up there. As long as you link out to the actual DOI and stuff, then the journal or the conference is going to be happy with it. And then that preprint or even broader manuscript can live there, right beside the content that created it.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then there's a whole bunch of like reports that I'm.
Is this a deep line? Is that
Yeah.
the deep line? Yeah. Yeah, I saw their project. It was really nice. Their profile is set up nicely as well. And that's it. And they've got the project description in, and the yeah, it looks nice. There's some serious lichen as well.
It's deep line.
Cool. That's lovely. And that's using it's not using hollow views, is it? No. What are they loading? This is an article, yeah? It's an article they've shared. Yeah, because they haven't got all their loading or setup code. They've just pulled out the code snippets from the notebook that they need with their figures.
Yeah.
And they've kept all the boilerplate out of the way. But yeah, that's how that hollow views or the pivers stuff, I think, that decorates. Maybe it's just the built-in pandas plots. Although they do look nice. Yeah, and they've got videos in there, tutorials. Fantastic.
Yeah. That's super cool. Yeah, so I feel like there's quite a mix of various things that people are doing. I think the sharing of notebooks and the tutorials are probably the biggest
Mm.
at the moment. Sharing of notebooks, I feel like, yeah, it would be nice if we could make that just a touch easier. A few less clicks and less thought in the way of actually doing that. And then also having external comments coming back to you and notifications, I think that'll seriously help that along.
Yeah. Who's the project website?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure how to. This is Benjamin Mary.
Yeah, okay.
And that's
documentation.
It's documentation of a new project, some of which exists in GitHub land, some of it is scientific article side of things, but this is like contribution guidelines to a project that he's working on.
Awesome.
And I feel like a lot of the papers are actually still private.
Yeah.
That people are actually working on.
Kevin's was. I don't think he's published that yet. One that isn't was Sarah Gara, and she did an extended abstract for near surface geophysics, and her paper here was online and public. And I remember this was quite funny because she cut down to this. I think the original full piece of work was here, which had almost like triple the page count or something at some point. And far too many figures to include in the extended abstract. So that got trimmed. Yeah, but lovely piece of work. And then of course the notebooks are in there.
Yep. Yeah, lots of things that I'm noticing while looking through this.
Yeah. Yeah, great. I just pulled out some of the nice profiles. Benjamin's looks really nice. He needs a header image. But yeah, decorated those. And I think that's it. If people fill out their profiles, we'll give them something special.
To get stickers and ship them to people.
Yeah. Liz's is an all-star profile, of course.
I was directed to pretty pictures and couldn't stop.
Cool. But yeah, I wonder what else. And anyway, the profile route's a different thing to explore, isn't it? We do want it to make it easy for people to get their work listed or to be able to put their work out there on the web. And the project listing is one thing, but maybe it's fragments of work that you actually want to post out. Do you know what I mean? You want to take a figure, add a bit of extra text, and have it as a featured like post, and then that links back through to the article. Or featured articles or notebooks coming out of projects.
Yeah.
And make this a bit more like a bio profile. I wonder what else people would want to list on there too. Quite interesting to find out.
That's super cool.
pull up Aaron's, because Aaron's got a lot of other stuff. I think he's
Looking forward to getting rid of our squiggles, squiggly lines, having default better default pieces,
images.
images, and pulling from the project as well.
Pulling from the project's a big one. Yeah, if we can just provide pick one and then make it easy to swap out. I know, like on YouTube and stuff, after I record this video, after it's processed, I'll have like 6 thumbnails to choose from. Some of them are often hilarious facial expressions and stuff that you wouldn't pick for the front. But then you can, but then it's just easy to pick one. And it's, it takes a lot of work out of that. The Simpeg one, did we look at that? Yeah.
They have some good.
Lindsay's tutorial we've seen before. What does that look like with the new now? Yeah, there's thumbnails in, so it's nice. But I actually haven't seen the seminars. And this is up and coming, of course. So that's nice. That's effective as well, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that's sort of actually like a different use case.
Yeah. I guess it's a bit like one that will have more content is actually our community meetups. And I've put a lot of oh wow, we've actually got a scroll bar in the photo over there. Because I wrote so much description.
That's funny.
I'm gonna try and scroll. No.
Let you.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, so that's seminar series or video blog, which is a vlog, is it?
Yeah, I feel like that's sort of replacing a WordPress.
Yeah, I know what you mean. You'd bring up a blog or a static site or a WordPress or something to do that, and this replaces that, and you can link in with other stuff. And there's Wesley's interactive plot again, but linked in to the show notes, as it were.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
Awesome. Cool. Anything else you want to chat about this week or show?
Just the textbook thing. The biggest textbook, because I was keen to see how this was going. This was the 52 Things book.
Yeah.
And that's a serious amount of content in terms of the number of sections, subsections, supporting notebooks under each, and that works nicely now.
Yeah, this is
much more nicely in the now. I've got edit permission on this, so I'm actually going to attempt something. Look, I can drag up, and I can drag back down. Oh, that was a bug that really annoyed me. That you couldn't drag.
beyond.
off the boundaries. You could go one way but not the other. But now that's nicely fixed as well. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's about everything. Like you say, that's the sort of public content.
Yeah.
And then there's a whole bunch of stuff, I guess, privately that people are doing in private projects and in the team projects and stuff.
Yeah.
That aren't
Totally.
out there.
Yeah, may never see the light of day.
No. But this is good. And I think, yeah, once we get our sort of next feature burn or current feature burn out of the way, it would be good to do that, is actually to take some of these examples or generate our own around the different patterns and actually get them out there in a blog post instead.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think, and I'm thinking of our website overhaul, and that's is probably going to be coming on some of that in terms of showing people what the various use cases are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because there's a huge amount you can already do.
Yeah.
I can't remember where I put my interactive plot. I think they're in here. Yeah. Yeah. That's where they were. You get some more interesting functions in the mix. I think I did get an Ormsby Weeblet? Have you run? I think I did.
It's not working.
No.
Very strange. Awesome.
Let me just do a page refresh. Okay, so
I was actually running into one of these problems previously when you're recomputing it. It doesn't which is very strange to me.
when you're recomputing it.
Like when, I don't know, sometimes it fails. So I think that's something to look into.
Yeah, definitely.
And it could be one of our libraries is out of date or something.
Yeah. Yeah, because basically the JavaScript isn't working.
Yeah, it says
Okay.
loading bouquet.js and then nothing else on my side.
Yeah, and then this should just work. This is not even with bouquet. This is just.
Yeah, that's very strange.
Okay, to be investigated.
Yeah. Sweet.
Great. Well, that's it.
Yeah, that's good.
If anybody has any of their content that they want to make public and have showcased, we help get it out there. Then I just shout. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Have a good rest of your day. We'll
Yeah.
talk to you soon, Les.
That's it.